Hiya. I'm just going to do a quick video on the watches and how I see the watches and just share it with you all. Um, if you see my videos and when I speak to people, they go, I've watched all your videos. So there's a lot of people that do seem to watch a lot of them. That you will see a journey that I've gone through in the last year, and when I got my gifts through just over a year ago, I started to see the manipulation, control, and abuse over consciousness, and I followed that control and manipulation to find out where the root of it, where it was coming from. And first it was like the machinery, to the implants, to the consciousness at the top that had merged with a different type of consciousness, a spider consciousness at the top of us in this machine, which called the elite. And they had puppets that they placed in our reality. And then so that got broken down, and that's when the royal family came down. That was, I don't know, a few months back, if you look at the videos. And whatever happens there has to come through into this reality. So you are seeing the fall of the elite, even though all the control, the control and the deception has got so big is because they have lost control and they're trying to scrape as much control back as possible, but they won't win. I would not worry. Anyway, so as I followed that, I started to see that there was a matrix around not just our planet, but all the planets. And recently discovered that all the planets are female. A bit weird, isn't it? They're all female energy. They're all part of Gaia. Gaia, who's Mother Earth, she is the heart of the universe. She is the strongest planet. She's the heart, is like we have our hearts. If Gaia died, all the other planets died. So you imagine like Gaia and then all the other planets are part of her. They're all female energy. And all around the planets is pure masculine energy. They're all masculine. It's all masculine energy, which I call universal energies. And we live in this large of mass of consciousness, and we lived very, very happily before the abuse, control and manipulation. Very, very happy. I've seen Earth prior to all the AI coming in, and it was gorgeous. The human beings on Earth, they weren't like us. We weren't solid. We were very fluidy. And that's because we were one with inside ourselves. We didn't have two separate energies. We had one energy. But at the moment, we have two separate energies. We have the male energy and the female energy. But at that time, we were one. And so it created a less density because it's our male energy that creates the density in this reality. Anyway, so there was no war, there was no manipulation, there was no abuse. We didn't even know anything about that. It wasn't even in our memory of that. Then the watches came along. Now the watches, now how I see it now is because when I look at the mass of consciousness that we're in and all the planets, there is another mass of consciousness, a completely separate mass of consciousness, like a whole different ecosystem, different universe, and it's above us. So we've got us here, and then we've got another one here, and it has attached, and this one here is where the watches are, and they've kind of like attached to us through AI. They've used technology to attach to the masculine energy. And then they've started to experiment on us. And they brought in the spider consciousness. They brought in fake feminine energy, fake masculine energy, which is another name for black magic. They brought in the AI. So I see AI running through our consciousness. The top one is a blue AI system, which gets the consciousness, the male consciousness, to unable to reflect on itself, unable to evolve. It tries to get the consciousness to not evolve, and also if you have this blue AI consciousness, you are deemed owned by the spider consciousness, by the reppies. So you're either owned to be abused, if they can't control and manipulate you and get you to be a certain way, you will become an enemy of them. And that's because of this AI, blue AI. Just rip it out and they're not interested in you anymore. So yeah, these watchers have really screwed us up. Now, there is also, they've attached to us through technology, but in this technology is a very, very large computer. So they've locked us into this computer. And this computer, now you've got to remember that the watchers aren't all bad. There's part of the watchers that want us to succeed in our journey. They want the masculine and the feminine to come together, and so they can undo basically what they did, and because they basically were the ones that screwed us up from the beginning. And there's part of watchers that, you know, that want us to succeed, and there's another part that want us to merge with AI. Now, even with succeed, we still need the watchers off. We still need this other universe off us, because it is like a parasite, and because there is beings in that universe that is trying to still abuse and manipulate and control. It's very important that they come off, and that's what's starting to happen. The technology that binds us together with this other universe where the watchers are is starting to release. So very exciting. So once this released, then we've just got our own crap, and they can't come in to us again and start to manipulate and abuse and control. Well, I don't think so. But yeah, so that's what I've discovered. Now, there's some channelers and psychics can get up to this machine, this computer, and you know, this machine's not all bad. It you know, it's a machine that knows everything. I'm not saying that it's bad, but obviously it's like the watchers are a mix. They're like a political party, and there's a lot of how black magicians work. They mix truth with deception. So and I'm sure the computer is like that too. So you can get some really good information, but you can also be led down a path that isn't beneficial. What I've noticed is that what's come from there, just I'll tell you a little bit of Men in Black. Men in Black is actually a computer program that looks after a lot of other programs that is in the computer, and there's AI that's been filtered throughout consciousness of the AI programming and the Men in Black programming that I came aware of. Now, the Men in Black, they're not real. They're not created from computer. They're not created from consciousness. They are purely AI. And they create portals. So it's a program that creates portals, and they also use like holograms as well. So it's a program that uses holograms to get away from. It's just, I went on a journey because on Saturday and Men in Black turned up, and I started to follow them, and it was just really interesting. So we started to break up the Men in Black program. So if you have been visited by Men in Black, they are computer programs. They're not real as such, but it is a program that looks after all other programs. Okay, so even though the world looks like it's going pear-shaped, above or within us, where we actually are creating it, it's actually the control and the abuse and manipulation is falling down even more. Just wanted to make you aware of that. And I share my stuff on YouTube. I do videos on YouTube. If you want to see my stuff, please subscribe, especially if you're part of my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page called Find the Light. Now, I've noticed that they've started to take truth pages down. Another page went down recently, unexpectedly. And so I do have, so hook up, because all the people on my Facebook page, or, you know, only watch me on my Facebook page, I would hook up and become a subscriber of my YouTube channel. And also I have a Patreon site, so you can hook up and see extra videos if you want, at least you have that contact with me, because it's a private thing, so they won't be able to take it down. So it may be worth a little bit of money a month. It's like £5 a month. So there's that. I mean, hopefully they won't take it down, but who knows? So okay, so subscribe, and Patreon's there as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. You take care. Bye.